currently running their Rebuild Gaza campaign. The head of fundraising at Islamic Relief South Africa, Abdul Aleem Gamza, is joining us to tell us more about the campaign and how we can help rebuild Gaza. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Brother Abdul Aleem, and shukran for joining me once again.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. It's always a pleasure to be on air with yourself as well as the listeners of Salam Media. I trust you all well.
Alhamdulillah, we are well. It's raining here today, so Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Barakah.
Yes, yes. Now, as we know, the issue of Palestine is one that cannot be forgotten. Could you provide us with an update on the current situation in Gaza?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. All praise and thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and once again, Jazakallah khairan for the opportunity to address yourself and the listeners of Salam Media. I think, and I'll say this time and again, is that we always need to remind ourselves at the end of March, at the end of May last year, end of Ramadan last year, where were we? What were we doing? What was topical and what was prominent in our discussions that we had? And one of the things that I must convey to the community of South Africa is that our brothers and sisters in Gaza, they send their salams. The second thing that they ask for is, they didn't say, send us money, send us all these things. Before all of that, they say, we ask you for another thing. Do not forget us in your conversations, like you did when we had the escalation that was so prominent and so live on media that we could see it playing unfolded for us like a movie. We were talking about what is happening in Gaza. We were driving around with flags on our cars. Every single conversation was about the suffering and what's happening, but we are forgotten. Such as insan, we have forgotten. It's not highlighted, it's not in mainstream media, and we are grateful to radio stations like Salam Media for highlighting the plight of our brothers and sisters in Gaza. So they ask us not to forget them in conversation. So today, inshallah ta'ala, we make use of this opportunity where we engage with one another, we remind one another about the situation and the grave concern that we have globally for our brothers and sisters in Gaza. While so many other things are happening around the world, it acts almost as a distraction to what has happened and what is happening in Gaza. So we know in May 2021, airstrikes destroyed more than 15,000 buildings. It left so many people in Gaza homeless. So many institutions of learning was destroyed. So many institutions of medical facilities was destroyed. And the most vulnerable part of our community, which is our women and children, were exposed to the harsh elements of the weather. And we know, like you mentioned, rain, we need shelter. Subhanahu wa ta'ala, we know that, when the winters come in South Africa, it's harsh, it's dry, and so forth. These people run to their homes have been destroyed, has been obliterated. And we find, when we look at a recent case by a sister named Iba, she's a single mom with two sons. She lives in Gaza. And when the airstrikes began, Hiba and her children, they took for safety, they ran for cover. And, they didn't know where to go. And their home and the roof and the metal sheets, all destroyed. And the family was looking at the harm that was created around that. Where would they go? Where would the single mom go? And they need to find space. When Hiba returned, she had metal sheets and she could have some sort of remnants of what they lived in. But this is no way to live when you have to run for shelter, run for cover all the time. And we, as I said, when we look at lockdown in South Africa, we remember 2020, when March 2020, almost 2 years ago, when it was proclaimed that we will have hard lockdown, we can't go anywhere, freedom of movement was restricted. This is similar to this day-to-day situation in Gaza. And all we need to do is think back. We mustn't forget. We must remember. We must remember the challenges that we face. And we as a ummah, we have this opportunity to make a difference because we believe in the kalima and we are followers of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And one thing I must mention, that we are in this month of Rajab, and this was the month in which we said that the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he went from Masjid Haram to Masjid Al-Aqsa. Masjid Al-Aqsa, which is in the lands of Palestine, is prominent in our community. It is prominent in our belief structure. It is prominent as symbolic of a historical area. And we cannot forget this. And this is housed and based in Palestine. And from Masjid Al-Aqsa, he ascended into the heavens. And I'm sure many of us know the story around it. So that is the symbolic connection that we as Muslims have with Masjid Al-Aqsa. besides it being the second masjid on the face of the earth. Subhanallah.
Subhanallah. Tell us more about the Rebuild Gaza campaign.
Well, the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has reminded us, and he said, whoever relieves the hardship of a believer in this world, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will relieve the hardship on the day of Qiyamah. It's something that we strive for, something that we yearn for. We want to know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be easy on us, will go easy on us. We want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to remove the difficulties on the day of resurrection, like we, inshallah ta'ala, will remove and try and alleviate the suffering of our brothers and sisters. So this rebuild of Gaza has been in the spotlight based on what has happened last year, but it's nothing new. So Islamic Relief, we've been working in Gaza since 1998. We can imagine that is, 24 years. Alhamdulillah, we've been working on the ground, carrying out, much needed assistance to our brothers and sisters. So we have a team that is ready to respond. We have a team that is responding. We have a team that's working with the community, and we're able to respond to communities, by providing urgent aid. And once, people always look at, cameras and all those kinds of things. And once cameras leave, we are so busy assisting the communities to rebuild, and we're looking at water, medical supplies, and livelihoods, and the availability of food as we work in these communities. So that is what the rebuild of Gaza is about. And, education, as we are basically at the beginning of our scholastic year here in South Africa, the children, and I say our children in Palestine, in Gaza, they also want to go to school. They also want to have these facilities. Here's an opportunity that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us to make a difference to the lives of these innocent children, subhanahu wa ta'ala, to see the smiles on their faces. An opportunity for us to create hope and belief that tomorrow, inshallah ta'ala, will be a brighter day. So that is how we're going to rebuild Gaza over this period of time. We can't do it alone. We are not individuals. We, as a collective, we one community, and we are the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So we will make that difference as a collective, inshallah.
Inshallah, Ameen. Now, the media has been abuzz with Islamic Relief and One Night in Al-Aqsa. How are these interlinked?
I've mentioned about the connection between the night of or Al-Aqsa, and how symbolic it was for the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam to have been transported from Masjid al-Haram to Masjid al-Aqsa to perform Salah there, and then to be ascended into the heavens. So there's that great connection of our illustrious leader Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam having been in Masjid al-Aqsa, praying in Masjid al-Aqsa, leading the other Anbiya in Salah. So we know what it means. So the night of One Night in Al-Aqsa is symbolic of that, but more importantly, it shows what the night of Laylatul Qadr is like at Masjid Al-Aqsa, in the precincts of the Al-Aqsa compound, and it gives us some good insight what it is like, and get a connection with our brothers and sisters, as what is important. And by watching this One Night in Al-Aqsa in your city, whether it be, now it's going to be moving to the Durban area, we will be helping people, like I mentioned in the initial example, like Hiba, to rebuild their homes, helping them with supplies, to get into Gaza. We were helping them with food, with shelter, whatever it is that I've mentioned, and we're looking at sustainable livelihoods for our brothers and sisters in Gaza. So that screening of One Night in Al-Aqsa is upon us, and it is next Saturday, is the 12th of March. I want the community just to make a note of it. Not even make a note. You just go ahead and purchase the ticket to come and watch One Night in Al-Aqsa with us as a Crescent Girls High School, 269 Parlock Drive in Parlock in Durban. That will be on Saturday the 12th. March starts about 6 p.m. But you can be part of this, and you make the difference to our many projects that we have in Gaza. And again, it's an opportunity just to be reminder of some things that we maybe missed. Some people haven't been able to travel to Palestine and to Al-Aqsa for a couple of years now with lockdown and so forth. And some people have done it regularly. So there's an opportunity just to reconnect with that, inshallah. And the tickets are available. Not mistaken, tickets are at 100 rand a ticket. So inshallah, go onto our website or visit us at our regional offices in Durban, and purchase your ticket, or make contact with our offices in Durban as well, inshallah. And then you can get your ticket and bring your family and your friends along. The more people we get to support, the more people we get to do some good, the more people we can support in Gaza and make a difference to their lives, inshallah.
Inshallah, Amin. So you mentioned Durban as one of the places. So where else will these one night in Al-Aqsa events take place, and how can we further help in rebuilding Gaza?
The other venues would be around Port Elizabeth. We're looking at the 19th of March, and then in Cape Town we're looking at the 21st of March, inshallah, in Cape Town. And those are the other venues that's still available for those who are listening, and maybe they have friends in Cape Town or in Port Elizabeth. Tell them to go ahead and purchase tickets for those venues, inshallah, so that they can attend and bring their families and as many people as possible. Cape Town is going to be a picnic kind of venue. It will be an outdoor venue compared to the Durban and the Port Elizabeth, which will be indoor venues. And I think it's important to note that we will follow all the rules of the protocols of COVID-19 to make sure that everybody is safe, everything is sanitized, inshallah. So from that perspective, everything will be above board, and you can come along. The screenings will happen, as I said, in Durban, Port Elizabeth, and in Johannesburg. And if you want to, you go onto our website, which is www.islamic-relief.org.za, and you can purchase the tickets there, or you can, just make contact and go to see how you can contribute if you're unable to attend the screening in those cities. Then you can just make a contribution, go onto our website and make that difference, and help to make a difference for the month of Ramadan that lies ahead. It's just but a few days away. And, we'd like to have a good Ramadan, as we always intend to, inshallah. May Allah accept from us. And as well, likewise, we want to have for our brothers and sisters in Gaza the coming year and the years ahead, inshallah.
I mean, so the Joburgers are wondering, how come we're not getting a one night in Al-Aqsa?
There was one schedule for Benoni last week, I think Friday, if I'm not mistaken, but inclement weather, as it was an outdoor event, it had to be, moved. So unfortunately, that was the one that was scheduled for Johannesburg. And, because we're running short of time, running into Ramadan, it does make things a little bit more challenging. But inshallah, we're not going to commit to anything, but not promise anything, but we'll see what happens in the future, inshallah.
Okay, inshallah. Well, shukran so much for your time and for sharing that information with us as always. And I hope that people can attend in numbers and help rebuild Gaza.
Inshallah. Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Abdul Aleem Gamza, the HOD of Fund Development at Islamic Relief South Africa. There you have it. Help rebuild Gaza and view the awe-inspiring story by purchasing your one night in Al-Aqsa tickets, and visit the Islamic Relief social media pages to see if there is a screening near you, or donate now at www.islamic-relief.org.za. Durban, Cape Town, and Port Elizabeth are the places mentioned, and unfortunately nothing in Gauteng this time around. But just stick around. You might just catch the train for the one night in Al-Aqsa. You are listening to the Mid-Morning Talk on Salam Media with me, Mari Mukwanda.